the monkey.
You ain't nothing but a rattlesnake. A bitch still bang on my door. You ain't nothing but a
The John Brim project has been such a blessing and an amazing experience to been a part of. We're so blessed and grateful to have done this project. The whole project kind of came about one day hanging out with Greg Martin. Greg, he's known about John Brim for some time now, and Greg kind of presented the idea to us about doing a special project for John Brim. You know, he's like, hey, this guy named John Brim is from Kentucky. He gave us a whole history and rundown of him, about how he wrote Ice Cream Man that Van Halen cut on their first record, and he gave us 5 songs of John Brim's to listen to, and wanted to make sure that we dug the music and really understood and had a full grasp on the whole project concept.
Recorded the album at David Barrett's recording in Glasgow, Kentucky. He was over in the old auction warehouse on the other end of town from where he's at now. We did it in basically 2 sessions, one in the hot summer, another in the cold winter. I remember standing around a kerosene heater trying to warm our fingers up and get through it. But the cold did something really special to the amps. It made the amps really growl and bark and get that fine blues tone that we were going for. We used some really great gear. It was all vintage gear. I used, for my sound, I used a GA20 Gibson amp chained with a really early Fender Deluxe, and Steve used 2 really early Fender amps chained together. And, we used all old microphones, and we recorded live, and just went for it and tried to put ourselves in the mind frame of a rock and roll band going into Chess, using the same gear that they would use, but making blues music.
It's amazing growing up as a kid, playing music, having pictures of, ZZ Top on your wall, and being such a fan of Billy Gibbons and those guys. And then, you check your phone one day and get a message of Billy Gibbons holding your record, get a picture of that along with a review, him reviewing it as well. And it's been great. Then like a couple of days later, you see a picture of Jeff Beck holding our record. And then, you hear a couple months later, Greg Allman's got a copy of it from the Allman Brothers, and he really likes it. So it's been great nonetheless to have some of our heroes really dig and appreciate what we've been doing.
It was a really gracious experience having get to work with Jimmy Hall on this project. I'd met Jimmy before this, but I'd never really got to work with him in that type of setting, and he just come in and blew all our minds. A one-take wonder. Of course, for me as a vocalist, it was kind of intimidating to know that Jimmy Hall was going to come in on a session and he was going to be playing off my vocal, because I have a very high respect for Jimmy. But we love working with Jimmy. We've got to open for Wet Willie, and we recently played a show with Jimmy on his birthday at the Cox Capitol Theater in Macon. And Jimmy is our soul brother. What else can you say about Jimmy?
We have a mutual friend that wanted to pass on a note. Greg Martin from the Kentucky Headhunters.
Greg Martin, yeah.
He says
Our
hello. And he said you guys got to get together and meet up at the closest White Castle and play some Telecasters.
There it is. Yeah, he can slam them. He does it right. I've known Greg for quite some time now, and he never ceases to amaze me, not only with his playing, but he makes discoveries of some really great music, and some of which we hear on the Rockabilly and Blues Radio Hour. It's always good stuff.
Absolutely. Well, and I knew that you love this band too, the band Otis. He had told me about them before too, just a great band.
Well, Greg Martin has had a hand in giving Otis a shove. They've got a fascinating sound. They're young guys that are very sincere, and that initial disc that hit the streets is, man, it's catchy.
Oh, yeah, that's some great stuff.